Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. Is up, NFC West football fans, more importantly, Seattle Seahawks fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. When the 2025 season started, the Seattle Seahawks were projected to have a losing record. But you know who did not care? Those Seattle Seahawks. They cared so little that they went on to win the whole damn thing. 12s. Congratulations, you are champions of the world. The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions, dominating the AFC champion New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60, 29-16 to get the ultimate revenge. The last time these two went at it, it was an all-time classic. This time, anything but. And it's because the Seattle Seahawks went to work and dominated the New England Patriots to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. On tonight's episode, we recap what we saw from Levi Stadium in Super Bowl 60. Without further ado, let's bring in the fellas, Mike, Jake, Jesse, and a world champion. It's not every day you get to spend time with the champ, and there he is in the top left corner. Nothing else to say, Brando. The floor is yours. Congratulations. Your Seattle Seahawks are world champions.
It doesn't get any more rewarding for this as a fan, not simply to get to root for this team, but to back this team in certain perspectives of what they were going to do this season and what I was thinking they could go into, and then having that all culminate across the board. From the uptick in the dominance of Mike Macdonald's defense to Sam Darnold being a man who can not only take you to a Super Bowl, but go and win you the Super Bowl. A case that I've been making here ardently, of course, week after week after week, and it worked that way across the board. The interrelation between three-phase football, the room for error with this team. I think you saw all of this on display in this Patriot game, and it comes back down to the blueprint. You're building a model for how to win football games, and it's a repeatable model week in and week out, and it's one that isn't always the most exciting for the average football fan that's going to want a bunch of offense, but to me, it's nothing but absolutely positively beautiful football at play. And you saw masterclass defensively, which was all of the fears that you heard spoke about with Jesse and Jake over the years talking about Mike Macdonald, all the things that they were potentially worried might exist inside him and his ability to go just beyond having the talent on his field, but being able to elevate that talent on the football field. And that's just what you saw last night, where it was both the talent getting it done in the front four, and then anytime Mike wanted to go into his bag and dial up an exotic blitz, they didn't know which way it was coming for or what to do about it. You took a young quarterback, as you have just beat the piss out of young quarterbacks for the last 3 years as far as Mike Macdonald is concerned, and you did so once again in this football game. He is the real deal as a head coach, a five-tool head coach to steal a baseball reference. And he is a guy that's not going anyway anytime soon, and nor is the Seattle football team, the third youngest roster in the NFL. A lot of Niner fans will sit there and go, well, we ate $100 million of dead money this year. That's why we couldn't be as good. Yeah, the injuries, but also the dead money. We had to clean the books, my friends. Books will be clean next year. We'll be much better. Guess who's got more cap space than the Niners? Seattle Seahawks. Guess who ate $80 million of dead money with the third youngest roster in all of football this year? That's the Seattle Seahawks. So you might just think it's a one-off or hope it's a one-off if you're standing out there as a rival. But as you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, you know that this is just getting warmed up. It's just the beginning. And his team is only going to be able to basically add on top of it this offseason. We put a show on a national display. That defense showed you how dominant they can be. Yes, indeed, that Rams game, as we said last week, and post of all the things that we've said here on the roundtable, collectively on this, about this team, about what was going on, about last week being the true Super Bowl, again, all proved out to be true. Patriots, props to them for getting there, but that's not the second best team in the NFL. It resides in this division, and this is the best division in football. And I will say as a final note, this was a storybook season, my all-time favorite football season for Seattle Seahawks, even beyond the Legion of Boom, because for the reasons you mentioned, Z-Bot, because everybody counted us out, because everybody said this was going to be a last-place team, because everybody dogged dogged on Sam Darnold at every single turn that they could do so. And quite unfairly. I'm not just talking about within there. I mean, just in general terms out there. It's very rewarding to see all of that get flipped on its ear. And you know whose house this is now down there in Levi?
Oh, man.
T-Bot, you know whose house this is down in Levi Stadium, boys?
Do you know? Right here.
Whose house? Hawks house. Whose house? Hawks house. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's ours. We own it now by naming rights, by the charters at play, by Article 5.329 in the book of I don't give a shit. We now get to name the stadium.
The San Francisco 49ers will be picking neon green and navy blue confetti out of their uniforms for probably the next year at Levi Stadium as it rained down upon Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald, and the Seahawks hoisting that trophy after a dominant victory. Brando, the interesting thing about the NFL is it is the most, in terms of one player, it's primarily built upon the quarterback. It's what anybody talks about when you're talking about any team. And what I found to be from the outside looking in this game, the most impressive element was that the Seattle Seahawks were able to more than double up the AFC champ with Sam Darnold having a 50% completion percentage and the MVP being a running back, which we hadn't seen in nearly 30 years. And Kenneth Walker was good, but it wasn't like he had this unbelievable historic night. And I say all that to say that this was one of the more well-rounded performances I've seen in terms of a team effort. And that's what I think gets lost so much when talking about this sport is the element of team. And you're watching this game, the Seahawks are up 9-0. And if you took away the scoreboard, you would have thought they were up 40-0. So with that said, when did you feel that this game was in hand, or did you not feel that way until late in the fourth quarter?
No, I did feel it was in hand. Obviously still nervous, but I think what it is, and Jesse will be able to help me with this, the pronunciation. Who's the Russian fighter retired early that was just dragging around everybody, like lightweight guy?
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah. Okay. So you got UFC fighters that'll stand in there toe to toe and they'll swing and they'll look pretty and they got kicks and they'll go into that toe to toe and it'll look really fun, right? But then you have a fighter like that who's first round, it's just kind of, he's wearing you down. Second round, it's kind of third round. You're in a 5-round fight, maybe as a champ, and he's got you gassed out. He's just basically just had you on the mat and on top of you and just mauling you the whole game. And that's kind of what this defense does as an equivalency. So when you get in this kind of game, I know I repeat this a bunch on it, but it's really the truth of that blueprint and style of model by which you've won through most of this year, and especially the back half of the schedule. This is what you're doing. You're kind of letting the game declare itself, and then you're working as a collective team around that. I know it sounds really a lot more just like extraneous than but it really is the way this team goes about it. What is required for the game? You saw Sam Darnold a couple of weeks ago in a game that was required much more passing, much more explosion, because the defense had, in the game that had declared itself, was going to give up a little bit more on their flip side of things. And so that's the way this team can play. It can kind of morph to what it needs to do game in and game out by how it plays, but it's not going to try to do too much or lap you 4 different times. They're going to stay within themselves by the way that the game declared itself. And the Patriots defense, I thought, played pretty solidly in this game, especially early on. A lot of that was what they were doing defensively to scheme some nice things up. And so you're being careful, as well as I said a couple of weeks ago, if Sam Darnold does not turn the ball over, as much as that's not exciting with how great this defense is across the board, we will be Super Bowl champions. What happened through this whole Super Bowl run? Sam Darnold didn't have one turnover in any of the playoff games. So ultimately that proved out to be true. And it just speaks again back to the nature of the strength of the whole as the team, Z-Bot, rather than us looking at individuals. It truly is about the team here.
Sam Darnold went from having the most turnovers in the NFL in 2025 to the Seahawks collectively not turning the ball over once the entire postseason. First time in NFL history, a team has won a Super Bowl without turning the ball over once on their path to get there. An incredible run. They say all the time, the two most important things in terms of championship caliber, defense and protecting the football. Nobody displayed that better than the Seattle Seahawks. Jake, this one in particular for you had to have been a tough one to swallow, because there is no way the Rams would not have absolutely destroyed the New England Patriots. Not the same way as the Seahawks did, but they would have beat them. I mean, I don't care if it was by a point or 100 points. New England wasn't winning that game last night. So you're watching this one from your perspective. Give me your thoughts on the game, but also give me your thoughts on the fact that, man, if you were in those shoes, Stafford's hoisting that trophy when it's all said and done.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have been so delicious to win that, like after, because how ridiculous the MVP was, like how close that was, would have been amazing to watch what Stafford would have done to that defense and what Drake May would have. I don't think Drake May would have had a good time with the Rams defense either. I actually think he would have had a tough time. I don't think for a second that Will Campbell would have been able to defend Jared Verse. Like, I think they would have gotten destroyed. I think that there's a chance, and I wouldn't go as far as to say this, but I think there's a chance the 49ers could have won this game, truthfully. When we talked about it, and I think Brandon and I were the first people on this. Jesse might have been on this. I don't remember. But we were saying the AFC is just nowhere near the NFC. Like, it's not even close. And you really started to notice this because early in the season, we brought it up on this show multiple times. The Patriots and the Broncos were playing a Weenie Hut Jr. schedule. And we saw it. We saw it. I mean, that was the worst championship game I think we've ever seen. And I know Broncos fans are upset, but that wouldn't have been close either. Let's just be real here. I mean, Bo Nix might have played a little bit better, but it wouldn't have been much different. And it's just a testament to this division and why this division's so much better. But the reason why it hurts so much, and it was nauseating, I was actually getting nauseous watching this, is because one, Seattle got revenge on the Patriots. The Rams failed to do that in 2018. They would have had a third crack if they got to this. Two, the Rams would have had a chance to be on that field, and it would have been a little bit nicer, right? The last time they were on that field, they won 40-26 against the 49ers. So they look good on that field the last time I saw them. Number three, it's kind of just, I guess I'm spoiled to a degree. Despite the fact that I've been a fan of a team that was dog shit for most of my life, the Rams were 4-0 in NFC championships in my lifetime. So it was uncharted waters. Like last year, it felt like the Eagles were probably the better team, and it's just, they had a chance to win and they didn't. But it hurt last year because you knew whoever won that game was going to win the Super Bowl then. I wasn't high on the AFC last year. I thought the Chiefs were overrated. And Washington didn't have an offensive line at the end of the year. So we knew whoever won between the Rams and Eagles was going to trounce the Commanders in the NFC title game. This year, Brandon and I talked about it. We knew this was the Super Bowl because none of us respected. I mean, I don't want to say respected, but none of us viewed the AFC as an issue. We have been saying the NFC was going to win the Super Bowl for over half the season. And sure enough, it happened. And just, it sucks because it's your rival, but it sucks because this team absolutely should have won a Super Bowl. And it's not to take away from what Seattle did, or, Seattle won both, 2 out of the 3 games. So it's not to take anything away from what they did. And I see a lot of fans that take offense to that, but you have to understand from a Rams fan perspective, you have to understand what this team was. You have to understand you had the MVP, you had the best, in my opinion, best offensive player in the NFL in Puka Nacua. You had a defense that was only allowing 18 points per game for half the year. And then all of a sudden things just changed there. But even still, you found a way to win in Carolina when you were down. You found a way to win in Chicago and no one said you would. And to come up short like that, you knew all of the things, it all flowed together when you lost that game because you knew exactly what that meant. This was the easiest, and it's not to take away from the Seahawks. Because, in my opinion, the NFC West, at least 3 out of 4 teams, playing in a different league, it looked like this year. Even the banged-up 49ers. It has nothing to do, and it's not to take away from Seattle, but we all knew whoever won the NFC was going to have the easiest Super Bowl win ever. This was so easy. Seattle could have had Sam Darnold throw 3 interceptions, and they still would have won. So it sucks, but it makes it easier because while, there are people that I can't stand that are happy today and, it is what it is. Brando is somebody that I happen to not just like, I love Brandon like a brother. Oh, man, I love all you guys, but Brandon, unfortunately, Brandon's the one that won. So I'm talking about Brandon for now, but I love all of you. Brandon, I love like a brother. And I have a lot of respect for your cohorts over at your Seattle Syndicate. I think you guys do a great job. I've been kind of just like checking in here and there with Bryce Coots and Dan. And I really happy for people like that people like you guys, and that's what makes it easier. And man, I'm ready for next season, because I have a feeling, and I'm not going to shortchange the 49ers here, I have a feeling this is going to be an all-out war. And unfortunately, and this comes back to my theory I think we talked about why I think, like, nothing to take away from the Patriots dynasty and everything, but if the Patriots play in an NFC West like this, if they play in a division like this, they would not have as many Super Bowls as they had. Unfortunately, that's the thing, is that I don't know if there's going to be a dynasty out of either of these three teams, because I think they're going to just they'll be beating the shit out of each other. So yeah, I'm hoping, because the football fan in me, I'm hoping the AFC gets better, because I was telling you, I texted you, Brand, I'm like, who the hell are you looking at in the AFC? Like, the Bills, by default, I think people are just kind of, gravitating towards the Bills because of Josh Allen, Z-Bot, but like, it just, like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, the Ravens with Minter, like, I love the hiring, but like, Lamar's never healthy. I can't trust Lamar right now. Like, this to me is, once again, going into next year, it's the Rams, the 49ers, and of course your defending NFL champion Seattle Seahawks. And I don't think there's anybody close, because I think the 49ers are going to be much better next year. That's what people don't want to admit. I do. I think they're going to be a lot better next year. Look at what they. Why not? They had all those injuries, and they were 12-5.
Brother, we're never healthy, and these players are only getting older. CMC is going to be 30, coming off of
they're going to
5
have
million
cap
touches.
Space. Kyle Shanahan
they have
showed
half of what Seattle has and less than what the Rams have.
I
And
know.
they're not trading Mac Jones. They're not trading Mac Jones.
But hear me out though. Kyle Shanahan did a whale of a job. I don't want to say he was snubbed. I don't want to say he was snubbed of Coach of the Year, because I don't want to take away credit from Vrabel, what he did. But I voted for Kyle Shanahan in my ballot. And I just think that this division is going to irk the shit out of people, and as Brandon would say, especially the East Coast, because I think the East Coast, even the East Coast bias, is going to be able to hold back this division. And by the way, Mike, Cardinals, like, they have a chance to be competitive, and if they're competitive,
talk about it.
This division is going to be fireworks, because now all of a sudden, we talked about why the Patriots, they had it all easy, whatever. They have 3 easy wins or 4 easy wins every year. Well, now, not even the Cardinals are going to be easy to fight off if they're able to be competitive, which I believe, because I like the roster, I love the hiring, and I think they're going to get their quarterback that's at least going to give them at least 8 wins. And I think that might be Malik Willis, but I'm going to throw one out there, and I want to see if Mike actually agrees with this or not. I think he could still play, and I could be absolutely wrong, but I have a feeling Derek Carr, who's coming out of retirement, I think Derek Carr would
next.
be... No. I think Derek Carr could do enough where you at least put together like that foundation. And so I guess really kind of the spiel here, the whole point is that you guys are tuned in to not only the best roundtable show, but you're tuned in to a show that's covering the best division, and it's going to be the best division for the next decade. And Seattle showed you that, the Rams have shown you that, and the 49ers have shown you that. And don't count out Arizona. Excellent hire on Mike LaFleur. I wasn't here last week.
Appreciate it.
Jake, I couldn't sympathize with you anymore, because as I was watching New England go on their 6th consecutive 3-and-out, I sat there saying, man, my Buffalo Bills should have been the one that earned the right to get their ass kicked by the Seattle Seahawks, not these New England Patriots. Jesse, this one's got a sting for you almost as much as it does for Jake, because you're watching the Seahawks drown in confetti on your team's home field, the beautiful array of rainbow colors represented by the Super Bowl 60 logo, just entrenched all over Levi Stadium. And there's Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald and company hoisting that trophy in the middle of Levi Stadium. What did you make of watching these Hawks getting it done in Santa Clara?
Well, first of all, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks and their fans. Makes me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit to say that out loud. But listen, we're a part of the NFC West Roundtable, and I really enjoyed it. We got a lot of Seahawks fans that that really support me, and I appreciate them like crazy. Brandon and I have been working together for like 4 years now. It's been a blast. Love that he's on this show, and I couldn't be happier for Brandon and Megan and all the Seahawks fans that tap in and week out. We really appreciate you. But yeah, it's definitely a gut punch. I mean, watching your bitter rival win a Super Bowl on your home field, seeing their logo painted in one of the end zones, and then to do it with an offensive coordinator who was on your staff, with a quarterback who was a backup to your amazing elite quarterback in Brock Purdy. And not only that, but your ex-head coach, his son, is on the staff as well. Like, how much more can you rub this damn thing in? And oh, by the way, they built a team identical to the 2019 49ers and then actually won a championship with it. It doesn't get really any worse than that. So yeah, it's a gut punch, but I definitely want to say this. I put this out on all my social media, but I'm going to say it right here, right now as well. We got to stop the nonsense, 49er fans. It is embarrassing to watch you guys scramble today. It is such an embarrassing thing to watch 49er fans try to justify how Sam Darnold owes his career to Brock Purdy because he was a backup and he learned some things from him, or to justify that McDonald won a Super Bowl in year 2 and there's some nuances, but look at how bad Vrabel was. He didn't deserve Coach of the Year. Shanahan did. Or to say the Seahawks ring is a Mickey Mouse ring because they didn't have to play Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Like, these are real. I'm not joking you. These are real takes. Drake May isn't as good as Brock Purdy because look at how bad he played. I don't know if you watched Brock Purdy in 2 games against Seattle down the stretch, but it looked worse somehow. So listen, I really genuinely cannot, like, just listen, we lost. It sucks to watch the Seahawks do what they did on your field with all the things that I said, but you got to take it on the chin. Sitting out here making excuses and talking about, well, Fred Warner is guaranteeing a Super Bowl next year. It's like, can we just stop? Can we stop the nonsense?
Well, he said it.
Exactly. I can't. It's honestly, it's super embarrassing. I really don't understand it. And I'm sure, listen, in the scheme of fan bases, it's a small segment of the fan base, but gosh, that segment sure does sound loud on social media. It's just, and I'm watching it from, and I'm calling out fellow content creators in the most respectful way possible too. Like, you guys are stirring the fire on this. Like, oh, guys, I mean, we have a chance to do a thing. The Super Bowl's in SoFi next year. It's like, shut up, just shut up, man. Listen, just stop. It's enough. We'll see how next year goes, but it's embarrassing.
Well, Mike, it could be way worse. You could have had the Seahawks win it in your home stadium. You could have been on the doorstep of beating them and gone and won it yourself. So I guess at the end of the day, the way the chips fell, you kind of made out all right here when it's all said and done. What did you make of watching Seattle dominate New England in this Super Bowl?
I mean, this game was brutal to watch, man. Division absolutely dominated, Seattle absolutely dominated the living hell out of the Patriots. Like, the Patriots shouldn't have been in this freaking game. Like, I felt like I was robbed of a Super Bowl that could have been so much more entertaining than the crapshoot that we ended up seeing there. But I mean, obviously, Brando, congratulations to your Seattle Seahawks. It sucks, but you guys were the better team and the better team in the NFL. Sorry, Jake. Like, you guys had your chance. You lost 2 of 3. But here's the thing. Like, I really wish we saw freaking Bills or not the Broncos, that they were on a backup quarterback. The Texans, Jaguars at this point. Like, I just feel like I was so damn robbed from this. This game was so brutal. It was so bad. And I know we can chalk it up to like, oh, it was such a great defensive battle. But like, damn, man, let's just shout out to Christian Gonzalez for making those 2 miraculous plays, like stretching out and like making it like at least manageable for that defense to to kind of stay within realm of potentially coming back, because there was a slight sliver of hope that the Patriots had in the third quarter, like, oh, maybe they might come back. There was a freaking interception in the middle. Like, Drake May, I'm sorry, buddy. Like, I'm not calling him trash. No, he's what he's doing in year 2. Honestly, I commend and everything that he's doing. Congratulations. Hopefully he continues to develop. But that wasn't it, man, at all. But overall, a boring game. But Seahawks did it, man. They were the more dominant team from top to bottom. And what we talked about before, right? Like the Seahawks winning on every single level, like special teams, not in this game, but like they can beat you in all these type of ways. Special teams, offense, defense, and the defense just literally harassed the living hell out of Drake May over there. Like both of his tackles, they were freaking turnstiles, man. Like Will Campbell, and then who the hell is that right tackle they got over there? Morgan Moses. Like those, like what are they doing? Like I felt bad for Drake May. Like literally, oh man, it was just a crapshoot overall. But that just kind of goes to show like how dominant that defensive line was. Like they are scary, and there was a reason why the Cardinals played them, and it was like 35-0 in a blink of a freaking eye. So because like they're a great team, man, they are. So kudos to them. K9 had a really good game. Sam Darnold didn't need to have a great game. There was a couple throws in the beginning where I'm like, ooh, he's kind of playing with fire there, but thankfully he kind of got away with it. But overall, pretty clean game. I mean, Sam Darnold, to his respected right, he didn't turn over the ball, which is really, really good. And I actually have a question for the guys here. Are we re-ranking these quarterbacks for Sam Darnold being number 2 in this NFC West now? Shit, like, damn.
I don't see why not.
Right?
Mike, you put it bluntly, so I'll just piggyback on it. This game was terrible. I mean, it was borderline unwatchable. Awful. Brandon, the interesting thing I find in this is that, well, you said it earlier, it was beautiful. And from your perspective, I'm sure it was Van Gogh. I mean, this was a mosaic. The way that they wound up dominating, from your perspective, it doesn't get better. But I'm interested. The 2 Super Bowl championships that your Seahawks have won were both absolute domination. The last time you were in the Super Bowl, it was an all-time classic that came down to the last play. What's it like, though? And I know you said you were nervous, but what's it like to kind of just cruise in the world's biggest game? Because I can't imagine what that must feel like to just kind of cruise to the end and win it.
Well, I mean, it's also been just kind of part and parcel for what the team's been like this year, right? How many blowout wins did we have this season? It wasn't like you have 6 games that came down to like 3 points or less. And we had a couple of tight games. Yeah. But overall, this was kind of the nature of the beast this year, and it was kind of the remarkable aspect of this team overall. It's definitely surreal. The fact you've done this twice now in a Super Bowl and you know, really taken apart 2 offenses in just complete full fashion on the biggest stage against what's supposed to be the second most elite team in the sport. I think it's notable. I think the part that I really love about it is that this is not a defense that's going to quite rise up to where, let's say, the Legion of Boom ranked, because I think the Legion of Boom is an all-time probably top 5 defense, if not higher. But I do think that this is a defense that does start to scratch up into one of those sort of top 10-ish type places on a defensive front of all time, and especially putting that stamp down with this kind of performance today. So it's almost as important that happens to kind of make sure you put your marker in NFL history for how great you were. And they were great across the board this year. You know, the points per game could have been so much better if the offense didn't constantly put their defense on the short field or give up points on a strip sack, fumble in the end zone. It would have looked even more dominant from them statistically. But if you just look at like DVOA and where that stands, you know, they played one of the toughest schedules in regular season NFL history, according to DVOA, like the 11th toughest schedule. And yet you got these kind of blowout wins, these comfortable wins. So it's a little bit like you feel spoiled, Z-Bot, because this is not how the NFL tends to get to be played. But it's also part of why we've just enjoyed the whole process of this at every moment, just savoring every second of it.
Played that tough of a schedule just to get it done in the World Championship against the schedule. So that's how it all goes down in Super Bowl 60. I'm interested to hear what you guys think was the most impressive element of this, because the way I look at it, from my perspective in Buffalo, it just comes down to Josh Allen. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. If the Bills lose, Josh Allen's a choke artist. If the Bills win, he's the greatest we've ever seen. What I loved about this is it's like, God, you know, Sam Darnold didn't really need to do anything. And Kenneth Walker, 135 yards, and it felt like it just was dominant, and they did exactly what they had to do. And then the defense was just as good as I've seen. Mike, you're watching this. Like, what impressed you the most about Seattle's outing here in this particular game?
Well, I mean, just in general, I was impressed that Bad Bunny outrushed the whole freaking the Patriots freaking run game. No, just being serious. Like, I guess what really impressed me is just, but I'm not gonna say it impressed me. Well, it did impress me. The defense, man, it's just on the biggest stage. Now, we talked about it the week prior, right? Like, we made a whole segment, like we were lying to ourselves, like what the Patriots got to do to win, right? And we were all kind of like, maybe this, maybe that. Like, we were grasping at straws. But just the impressive nature is them not letting the moment get too damn big. Like, they knew what was ahead of them. Like, they knew that we got to take care of this and they did it. Like, they almost kind of seemed like, hey, it's just not just another game, but like, this is an important game. We got to win. And they had it from start to finish. Now, of course, they kind of eased up a little bit like towards the third quarter, but like rightfully so. You were dominating this freaking team. Like, they couldn't do nothing. They were smothered. Any second Drake May could do anything to step back, he was getting harassed in the back. It was just crazy, man. It was crazy to see. So I guess the impressive nature is at the very tippy top of like the best game should have been out there, right? The Super Bowl 60, it was a blowout, man. So congratulations to them. I guess the defense was very impressive that they were able to maintain that in the biggest game.
Jesse, from your perspective, what were you most impressed by based on the fact that this game was 9-0 at half and it just felt like it was over? What did you make of the ability for them to do it the way that they did, and what stood out to you the most?
God, dude. I mean, they were just so dominant. Like, the thing is like, the Patriots were not the best representative of the AFC. They just weren't. I mean, it would have been, to your point, so much more fun if the Bills had been there. The Texans, at least their defense could have made things interesting. They had no answers for Seattle. Seattle, at no point, like, Mike McDonald looked like he had no care in the world. He was not stressed. He was not worried at all. Like, it was just basically, hey, just go out and get a few field goals and that'll be enough. Like, it was just sheer domination. And, the left tackle for, I'm drawing a blank on the Patriots.
Campbell.
Rookie Campbell. He was a guard all the way through the draft process, and somehow the Patriots overdrafted him to play tackle. And I think will be a good lineman in this league if they move him over to guard. But I mean, he was just getting abused over there. It was awful to watch. Seattle was so impressive in so many ways. I mean, there was a stretch where JSN wasn't out there. It didn't matter. Like, they just did everything right outside of the very beginning where it was a little, Mike talked about it, but Sam really was trying to throw an interception. I was like, are you trying to like get one out of the way just to get the monkey off your back? I don't know what's going on. But it was like they toyed with the Patriots the whole way through. And it got to a point where, oh, the Patriots scored? Okay, well, that was interesting. Let's just go get a touchdown of our own. We'll just go right back at you and go score. It just sheer and utter dominance. And even when it started to look close again, where the Patriots were driving, they could get it within one score. It's like, all right, just time to get an interception here and put this game away. Kenneth Walker, I mean, he went from being a player that I wasn't sure about, who I thought was almost a little overhyped by Seahawks fans, to being dominant through this playoff run. I don't know what you do with him this offseason. You guys have some free agents you got to make decisions on. Not that you want to overpay for a running back by any means, but man, he was unstoppable. He was unstoppable all through the playoffs. It was just phenomenal performance, top to bottom, across the board for the Seahawks. Just a clear better team.
I'm glad you brought up JSN, because to me, I think that adds to how impressive this was. He was non-existent. 4 catches, 27 yards. Cooper Kupp was the best receiver in this game. Jake, I hate to add salt to the wound here, but that was the reality. It's just incredible that it just felt literally like they were just trying to play out the game and just get it done. So was there one thing in particular to you that stood out in terms of the impressive effort we saw from Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest, and this is why I was like, the 49ers might have had a chance if they were in the game, but the Seahawks got so much pressure on Drake May. It just made it, he had no chance. I mean, I was saying this before this game, he's not reading the field well, like at all, even when he had time. And when you take away the time, he's not going to read the field any better. And then you take away the run game, which I think it was kind of fun to watch, because I went through the motions, not the game, but just like throughout the week, like with Twitter, it was kind of fun to watch these people that were so ignorant to the NFC West, and it just hit them like a ton of bricks of how good this Seattle team was. Like, I know I watched them 3 times play against my team, and I watched every single game they played this year. So I wasn't like shocked. But you could tell the people that literally didn't watch Seahawks football this year, they were like, oh, I guess that was all kind of just me hoping that the Patriots were going to win. Like, I kept seeing, well, the Patriots haven't lost when Milton Williams and Christian Gonzalez are on the field. Well, yeah, because you played a strength of schedule below 400. Like, I'm like, come on. And Seattle, they didn't have the strongest strength of schedule in terms of the number, but they were in the NFC West. And, oh, by the way, they also played Jacksonville and they played Houston, right? And they beat Houston. And Houston was a team that I thought would be really dangerous. And Jacksonville was a team that I felt like, and this is the thing is that, I think that was one of the tougher divisions to play if you were the NFC. And the NFC West destroyed them for the most part. So, yeah, I think looking at this game, Seattle just putting so much pressure on Drake May, taking away the run game. And then this game was so similar to like week 18, in my opinion, because and I said this, and obviously the score didn't indicate at the end, it was 29-13, but like most of this game, you're sitting there, you're like, yeah, Seattle's only up 9, but like it feels like they should be up by like 29. You know what I mean? Like they were in control of the entire game. And I don't think at any point they felt like they were in trouble. And I almost feel like, I don't want to say they look down on their opponent, but you could just tell when a team knows that they're just playing with their food. I think Seattle at certain points in this game was just playing with their food. Like they knew this game was in the bag. And, I thought that defense, when I saw the way Drake May played against the Broncos and Vance Joseph's defense, and I saw him the way he played against the Texans, and I saw him the way he played against the Chargers even, I was like, how is that going to be any better with Mike McDonald? Like I thought the Texans had the best defense all year. And the Seahawks were number 2. Mike McDonald he threw some things that you could just tell Drake May's reaction, he had never seen anything like it. And I just, at that point, I was like, I had 38-16, so I didn't get the prediction right. But I had a pretty good idea this wasn't going to be close. And you just got to give credit to Seattle. And I saw a lot of people in the comment section jump in to say that I was coping and I was being unfair and being a bad sport. But understand something, like if you're going to watch the show, like listen to the question. Zbot asked me how I felt like sitting there and how I felt, as a Rams fan, yeah, if my team was in there, the only team that had been able to really even score on this defense, yes, they absolutely obliterate the Patriots. So I was very annoyed. But that doesn't mean that I don't respect, and I'm not going to throw praise, the Seahawks way. And if you can recall, I was one of the first people to say that they were like in the top 3 this year in the power rankings. And I had them going 11-6, and I changed it. Initially, I had the 49ers as the number 2 team. Then I switched it to Seattle. Excellent job by Mike McDonald. And now this is when the pressure's on. Like they're young, they got some cap, but now a defensive-minded coach is going to have to go and figure out the offense. I think he will. I don't think it's going to be an issue. But this is where these coaches stand out. When you start, now the X is on your back. Teams are coming for you. They're gunning for you. Everyone knows this. Every single game that they play against Seattle is going to be considered a Super Bowl of some kind. So that's when all of a sudden the target's on your back. And then on top of that, now everybody's like, oh, that Mike McDonald guy is pretty good. I know it's probably not going to get Mike McDonald because I'm not like delusional, or maybe I am. I'm going to just take all the guys from his coaching staff. And there's going to be a lot of dog shit teams, Brandon, you'll learn to come by, where teams are just going to poach all of your guys. I know from experience. I've seen it. So this is when, the best coaches in the league rise to the top even further. And I think Mike McDonald's no different. That's why Jesse and I were panicking when Seattle was looking like they were going to lock that thing in.
The Seattle Seahawks fan base, the 12s that is, dominating the chat as you would expect. We will get to the super chats in just a second. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to my friends over at RotoWire. The season may be over, but the off season is just beginning. And that's where RotoWire has you covered all off season long, with the top news being covered down to the minute right on RotoWire, and just tons of content when it comes to the draft. And then, of course, when we get into the fantasy time of year, they got you covered from top to bottom. You're going to want to take advantage of their premium tools throughout the offseason. Do so with the promo code RTS. When you sign up for a premium RotoWire subscription, RTS will get you 15% off that premium subscription. And I also know the season is over, but that doesn't mean the fun over on Sleeper has to be over, because they got you covered all off season long with NBA, NHL, you name it. It's all on Sleeper with Sleeper picks. So in order to make the time pass faster until free agency, until the draft, and then of course the 2026 season, get in on the action with a Sleeper slip on NHL and NBA. Link in the description below. Click that, sign up for Sleeper. And once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry. And once you use that free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. And while you're down there, folks, the giveaway for the JSN signed and framed jersey is still going down over on the Covered app. What better way to celebrate a Super Bowl championship than with a piece of memorabilia like that? Link in the description below. Click it and download the Covered app. Awesome app that helps you with your finances, and you can play games along the way. When you play those games, you accumulate points. Those points go towards winning awesome prizes like that signed JSN jersey. So download the app. Use the code BALLDON'TLIE. That will get you a free entry into that JSN jersey giveaway. All right, Brando, 40 minutes in the books on what can't be anything other than the most...
We did not care.
Amazing
We did not care.
Victory Monday of all time. Give me a round of applause as we enter into Super Chat time. We kick things off celebrating the Seahawks Super Bowl championship with a super chat from Airborne who says, hey, go Cardinals. Go Cardinals. We're turning the page. Go Cards.
Hey, real quick, I want to say this, Jake. We're going to have to do this another time because we're not going to get into it tonight. But you're going to have to convince me. I don't know how you're so sold on the 49ers. I just literally watched George Kittle. This team's so unserious. I just watched George Kittle talk about, oh, man, I don't know. I mean, sounds like we might be getting some old friends back. Debo Samuel might be returning. It's like, oh, wow, way to scare nobody. That's crazy.
All right. I don't think you're going to win the Super Bowl. I honestly never think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. But I think they're going to be back to being dangerous. Like, I think they're going to be a team that I don't want to play. And Seattle doesn't want to play. And Arizona doesn't want to play. But I also think Arizona is going to be a team that nobody wants to play. Like,
can't wait to add all that speed and Debo Samuel. That's fun.
I mean, by all means, if you're getting
is there
Debo
any
Samuel,
chance, Jesse? Is there any chance? Because there's the thing that could go on with Seahawks win the Super Bowl and how competitive this has been, that this turns into a little bit of an arms race across the board. You guys just cleared cap space. Is there any chance that there is a like, look, we got to S or get off the pot on this. We can't take the middle ground with this, being they be a little bit more hyper aggressive than they maybe have been in the past?
I just don't know where it's coming from, man. The free agent, this is not a great free agency. It's not a great draft. You're hoping that now 38-year-old Trent Williams, 30-year-old CMC, and apparently 31-year-old Debo Samuel is going to carry things. All right, cool. And
you lose me with the Debo Samuel.
And like, 33-year-old Kittle who's got an Achilles tear. Like, all right, man.
Well, don't forget about Jake's favorite, Kyle Juszczyk. He'll be coming back, and that could be a massive piece to the puzzle.
When I saw him celebrating with Puka Nacua in the Pro Bowl, like, because that just came up on my feed, I was just like, what are we doing? Like,
from what I saw on Twitter, I guess the key to a Niners championship is getting Future to perform again before the games. From what I saw online, that apparently is the key to 49ers success. So maybe
you didn't see? There's a certain, I don't know, some site posted something. It's not even the NFL. Like, you guys with your conspiracy theories need to chill the hell out. Now, anytime you see that stadium photo with all the guys lined up outside, they're like, oh my God, Jalen Waddle and Nick Bosa are the closest to the stadium. That means they're gonna win they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. It's like, hold on. The NFL didn't even drop that one. It was like, I don't even know. I think it was Bleacher Report. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've gotten to the point where we're reaching, and it's just ridiculous. I think the color conspiracy also was kind of funny while it lasted.
People were inverting colors to try to make it work.
Did you see all the Jets fans that were like, no green again? It's going to be a rough year. I was like, did you ever think? You're not I was like, really? You thought Aaron Glenn was going to take you to the promised land? Get out of here.
Funny.
You know what's funny is I'm pretty sure, I'm not even kidding you. You know who started that whole conspiracy? Is Dan. I'm almost positive.
Oh my
Dan.
God,
He is,
dude.
yeah.
Might
Yeah.
have been, might have.
He is.
Yeah, years ago. So you can thank Dan for what has now become a yearly tradition. where
And I'm
I
sure
beat-
he doesn't care that much either.
No, he's just constantly looking for the Bills blue somewhere, and unfortunately, I don't think it's in there this year. So we'll see you in Super
Hey,
Bowl
there's
62.
the red border, and I think there's
Lock it in. We got Seth. Drake May was the one seeing ghosts. That he was. Seth Taylor. There is a 0% chance Mike Mother effing McDonald does not win multiple Super Bowls. I effing love that, man. Go effing Hawks. Can you tell Taylor is effing fired up, guys? Can you tell?
Let's go, Taylor. Let's
He's
go.
loving it. John Naylor, not to be confused with Jonah, saying Jonah says, see, walk, preach, ghost busters. Yeah, the ghosts were busted.
He's
last
not-
night.
He's not saying any ghosts no more, but Drake, yes, many all over, all the time, through the off season, really, forever.
I completely overlooked the sea walk there when you started going into it. I'm like, wait, I didn't know this. I didn't know this was a walking moment. And then I'm like, oh, he did say sea walk. So well done there. Seth saying Levi Stadium renamed to Lumen South. Whose house, Brando?
Hawks.
Oh, the HHG. Sam has more Super Bowl wins than Allen. Sorry, Zeba. That's fine. Burrow, Jackson, Lawrence, Baker, Goff. Love some dude who plays for the Niners. Yeah, why not? Just salt in everybody's wound here, I suppose, except for Brandon. Feed me more. Michael Dixon is such a dog, man. MVP punter.
He's great.
They could have given it to Jason Myers, and I really think it would have been well received. I mean, you can't overstate making 5 field goals. It was a Super Bowl record. You know, he misses a couple.
Yeah.
It's a whole different game.
Yeah.
And the punt game too was amazing.
The defense kind of got shortchanged though, because they're like
Agreed.
one of the
Yeah.
big reasons. And it's like, what do you do? Who do you give it to? That was my issue. Like, do you give it to the guy that had the touchdown when the game was over? You know what I mean?
Probably
It's a
could have given it
touchdown.
to Witherspoon. I think you probably.
I think
That's
you
who I
could
would've
have given it to
too.
Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no issue with Walker, but it does kind of go to show you that the days of defensive players getting Super Bowl MVP are dead. Like it's a very offensive driven award.
I think, and Brandon, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like Kenneth Walker was the reason the Seahawks were able to do what they did in this game. The 5 yards per clip. Like if he didn't have that type of game, it could have been different. They relied on him to really run this thing out.
Agreed. I wondered coming into this if the team speed of the Patriots defense was going to get challenged by Walker, because he's a legit 4-3 guy when he gets the ball in his hands, and they just don't have the speed to get to the edges at times. I think you saw that in that game. I think if I also may with this, we saw a lot of games this year with the special teams unit of the football from the Seahawks, which was the best in football ranked by DVOA. And it's the collective unit, be it Dixon, Myers, and what you saw in this game. And it becomes a little bit of a flippant thing that gets kind of tossed around, special teams, like it gets hand waved. Oh yeah, special teams. But it proved, and this team proved this year, if your team's walking in and going through an offseason and you're just kind of hand waving at it and sort of dealing it like that necessary evil that you have to kind of, okay, I got to go tend to the garden a little bit, but I'm just going to go once over it. It's going to bite you in the butt.
The
It will
Rams.
bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
If you want to be a championship team, you got to build a solid special teams unit, bare minimum.
And once again, I think that the Seahawks just became the quintessential example of team football, right down to the punter. I mean, everything they did in that game coincided into a collective effort that resulted in a dominant Super Bowl victory. The HHG and some dude on the Niners correcting that. Glad you came in and corrected that, HHG, but we had you covered. We knew what you were talking about. Ethan, rest in peace. Legion of Boom, rise the dark side. 12s is one. Brandon, you shed some light on this earlier. You don't,
of the dark side.
you're not convinced it's going to be that good, but you're pretty convinced it's. I mean, listen, it's already good enough to have its own name. That's something.
Well, they're getting started. I've always referenced this to the 2012 Seahawks that had to go on the road through the playoffs. And if they had home field advantage in 2012, I think they would have had the Niners that year, and I think they would have gone to the Super Bowl and beat the Baltimore Ravens. But they had to go on the road. They had to go to Washington. They had to go to Atlanta. And that's why they weren't able to get more done there. This team's did it a year early. So that's sort of, if you put it by the timeline, next year, you're going to maybe have even a better defense. You're not losing a talent all across the board here. You're just going to have more you're adding on top of it. You saw Riley Mills in this game go to get a sack. The reason you got him in the 4th round, that's a top 50 player. It was because he tore his ACL right at the end of his college season. He's going to come on the scene now on that defensive line. It's only going to get better.
Propa. Niners are old, slow, and injury prone, so it's great to see our old, slow, injury prone vets lobbying for old, slow Deebo Samuel to come back. Niners need a real GM. Prop is just echoing the sentiment that Jesse shared with us just a few minutes ago. The almighty Dogda. Imagine Seattle going back-to-back and winning a Lombardi in both Levi's and SoFi. Man, they are just they're collecting the Infinity Stones at this point, Brando.
Jake, whose house?
No.
Jake, whose house?
It would really be. That would really hit home.
We're coming, Jake. We're coming.
I have to say, I think the NFL totally botched this one with the Australia thing. First off, that should have been Rams Seahawks. I'm glad it's not, because I think that's going to be more of an important game.
Hey, by the way, event? Question mark? Out in Aussie? Come
on, guys. Listen, I'm down.
We'll go see Megan.
Your game? Well, of course you are. The last time we went for a Rams 49ers game, you ended up with the Super Bowl. You know, I looked back at our pictures after they won the Super Bowl. Like, and I'm watching you. I'm looking at our pictures, like us together and everything. I'm like, he doesn't know at this moment his team's going to go all the way. Like, it was, and I remember you when they lost to the Steelers, you were fucking depressed, man. You went on here and you're like, man, I don't know. I'm like, it's going to be okay. Go back to week 2. When they lost to the Steelers, you were depressed.
We beat the Steelers.
Oh, no.
Niners.
Who did? The Niners. That's what it was. Yes.
I had to wear sourdough Sam on my head.
No. It wasn't just that, though. It wasn't just that. It wasn't just. You said that
it was week 1, and you were like so ready. You're just like, dude, I can't believe it. We're not serious until we can.
You're right. Team. You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that.
You picked the Steelers to win. That's what it was. And I told you that they had no chance of beating the Seahawks, and they would be fine. It is funny.
Brandon looked at that sourdough Sam hat last night. He said, "Not tonight, old friend. Not tonight.
Oh, no.
Not tonight. No. You're gonna watch from afar." Dylan saying, "Glad JSN won Offensive Player of the Year. Acts classy and humble, unlike Poopa." That's right. The Emerald City Route Artist getting the Offensive Player of the Year. Jake's Matt Stafford getting the MVP. So we were just collecting stuff in this division. Feed me more. If Lamar fixed his deep ball accuracy, he would be a champion. Maybe a little bit more than that.
If he would stay healthy.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt a lot.
That wouldn't hurt. All right. Seth,
my biggest issue with Lamar is he's never healthy.
Plus, deep ball accuracy never gets fixed. You got that or don't in your bag. Like, it's either you throw it accurately or it's just kind of is what it is at this point. Maybe a younger guy, but you're almost 30. It's like, guy's cast.
Seth saying, Jesse, did you hear Keon White got shot in the ankle?
I just saw
what? Another guy got shot for the Niners?
Yes. At like 4 something in the morning. He wasn't, I guess he was an innocent bystander. He was, I don't know. There was some altercation, stray bullet. Listen, it's obviously not his fault, and I hope he heals quickly, but it's like, why are you out at 5 in the morning? Nothing good is going to happen at that time of the night or day or morning or whatever. It's just, I don't know.
Was Pearsall in broad daylight?
Yes, his was broad daylight, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I don't understand. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Just my opinion. Can we hang the banner at Levi and just leave it there?
Jesse, come on. What do you say?
That was the other thing. Somebody said, somebody had posted, I made a banner, of course. 9 out of the last 10 teams that eliminated the 49ers have won a Super Bowl. So I made a banner that's got all the Super Bowl logos that the 49ers have. And then it says 9 out of the last 10 teams that eliminated the 49ers have won the Super Bowl. It's so embarrassing, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe they can hang that one at the same time they hang up the Seattle championship one at the start of the 2026 season. Peter _Go Hawks. $100 in April Super Bowl to win $6,600. $50 on Walker to win MVP for $520. $100 for any time D touchdown, get you $580. $150. Vegas B-Day Super Bowl win $580 for a grand total of $8,280.
Wow.
Winning in Levi's Stadium, priceless. Sorry, Jesse, love you, but we did not care. Wow, Peter giving, my God. Peter, 8,280. I'm going to need you to bump that tangerine up to a boysenberry next time off of these wins. 8,280 off your Hawks. Oh, my God.
Thank you, Peter. You're awesome, brother.
It's getting bad for Mike Tomlin. People are just erasing. He had the We do not care. And now no one is going to associate him. That was the only thing he had going for him. Like now it's like, no. There's no trace of Mike Tomlin.
We did not care.
Can't imagine winning nearly $9K and your team wins the ball on the back of that. That is an incredible feat there, Pete. We got my main man, Jonah, saying Cards will be a fun and interesting rebuild. Being in the toughest division will only serve to make them stronger. Best AZ and Mike, enjoy the journey. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger is what Jonah's essentially saying. Here, Mike. Yeah. So
I'm excited.
Bright horizons on the light is on the horizon for the Cardinals going into 2026. Danny B. Devin Witherspoon played like a bona fide Hall of Famer last night. Truly spectacular stuff. He is so damn fast and proportionally strong. Yeah, he has an argument for the MVP in that game behind that incredible defense. Propa, I don't know why, but Hawks winning at Levi's doesn't really bug me. They earned it. Hope it makes us desperate. If we get our sixth, it's irrelevant. Have to find a way.
I just want to say too real quick on the Devin thing. He is on I think he's gotten 3 Pro Bowls the first 3 years. He is on that ascent as far as having that, with it's still early in his career. It's not like but he's on that pathway.
Yeah, he's been incredible and certainly was in the biggest stage. Megan, who I know is feeling good today. Megan saying, sorry I'm late, boys. Guess the buzzard's name, which was meant as insult, is true because, man, oh, man, we feasted. Love the fact that the second win came 12 years after the first. And I guess all I have to say is, I told you so. How about that? 12 years for the 12s, getting it done.
Thank you, Megan.
Against the Pats. Feed me more. I think we need the 49ers button, Brandon. What do you got for me?
Damn, fuck the 49ers. Yeah, fuck the 49ers. Bow, 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 bow. Y'all some booty cheeks. Hey. Super Bowl losing streak.
No shortage of buttons on that board for Brando. He's got something for everything. We got Megan back in the building. Oh, and I guess Sam's new mantra, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And there were no ghosts to be afraid of in that game. Jesse?
Thank you, Megan.
Oh, that was just a laugh. I thought you had a comment, but that was a nice little chuckle.
Should no. He should he should own it and dress up as like a Ghostbuster for Halloween next year or something. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, he can do whatever he wants now, right? I mean, you just pulled off one of the best underdog stories in the league. You just kind of roll with it at this point.
Yeah.
We got Chief Yams, AFC East Roundtable, Pat's host. Shout out my man Kobe. He says, May played better than Darnold. The amount of excuses is unreal. Also, Pat's defense played mid. Sam missed throws. I don't know what more you really wanted from the Pats D. The Seahawks had 12 points going into the fourth quarter. The Patriots, Drake May had 60 yards. Do not allow that box score to fool you from the fact that Drake May had 60 yards going into that fourth quarter. Propa. B had a stress-free Super Bowl. Meanwhile, Zeba and our fan base get storming the beaches of Normandy level drama. Every playoff run, life ain't fair. Probably, if there's one thing I've learned as a Bills fan, it is certainly that life is not fair. Well said. John May, tune into the AFC East Roundtable, and it made me appreciate you guys all the more. Just toxic yelling over each other, especially the Pats, dude. Listen, John, as somebody who's well entrenched within the AFC East, there's a reason for it. Believe me. We got my main man, Jonah. Zeba, want to know how it feels to have a lockdown defense in a Super Bowl? Yeah, I would love to know. In fact, I would just love to know what it feels like to be in a Super Bowl, Jonah, much less having a lockdown D. But Jonah's saying it feels effing fantastic. Hope that clears it up. Take care, buddy. Thank you for clearing that up, Jonah.
Jesus.
I didn't know it felt that great. I kind of just assumed it wasn't all that great, but I'm glad you cleared it up. We got Dylan. Jake, how was Puka robbed when he was the MVP thrown to him, when he has the MVP thrown to him and the best offensive head coach in the game? Also, JSN sat out 5 quarters due to his blowout wins.
I mean, robbed is probably, and this goes along with the whole Kyle Shanahan thing. Saying Kyle Shanahan was robbed kind of disrespects Mike Vrabel. And I was mad that Puka didn't get it, but I also knew he wasn't. I was honestly more pissed that Christian McCaffrey got more votes than Puka Nacua. I thought that was absolutely atrocious. I don't understand. I mean, you can love JSN, and look, I said that this dude was going to be a superstar week 2 this year. Actually, I think it was week 1. Puka Nacua is the best offensive player in the league. That I won't drop down from that. I mean, he might not be as mature as JSN, but I don't agree with his tweets and all of that. But when I watch him, I just think he does things that people take for granted. Like, you have to block to be in this offense, but they literally run 13 personnel and have him as a receiver, and they view it as like having 14 personnel. Like, they have 4 tight ends on the field. Like, he's that freaking good. And the way I would say it is JSN, when he has the ball in his hand, is dangerous. I think Puka is an ever-loving nightmare. When you look at him, when he has the ball in his hand, he is trying to run you the hell over. He's not a running back. Like, he's not a wide back like Deebo Samuel was. He's a damn tight end. And I think the people that voted for Drake May and JSN, I just don't. I think they have a bone to pick with the Rams for whatever reason. Because if your argument was, JSN had a better year than Puka, and you're whatever, like, it's close, but you're like, well, JSN didn't have the MVP thrown to him, like, fine, but like, at least vote for Stafford. If you vote for Drake May and JSN, like, I to me, I kind of lost credibility for people like that, because it just kind of so neither deserved the best offense in the league and neither deserved MVP or Offensive Player of the Year. That's why it was like, when JSN won, I was like, all right, like, it's fine. I still think it's ridiculous. Puka didn't win Rookie of the Year, and he doesn't have any hardware, and we all view him, whether people want to admit it or not. I mean, we kind of view him as the best offensive player in the league. Like, the way people talk about him every year, it seems like, even when he was hurt last year, even like his rookie year, people are like, this dude is just different. So it doesn't matter, because, I mean, end of the day, JSN is outstanding, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but I just think that there are a lot of people that just kind of were like, oh yeah, like, Puka Nacua makes all these incredible catches, and oh, by the way, he had 160 yards against this defense and had over 200 yards against the best defense in football, and that just all of a sudden didn't really matter, because the Rams lost those games, and he had Stafford throwing him the football, and he had Devontae Adams on the other side. When Devontae Adams was out, no one talked about that, so that was it. I don't want to say that he was robbed, but when Christian McCaffrey had more votes than him, I felt like that was genuinely being robbed. The fact that he came in third place is sickening to me personally.
Well, maybe if he gets a cool nickname like the Emerald City Route Artist, maybe he'll be in contention next year and get a couple more votes. We got Misfit.
You could have a running back that averages 3.9 yards per carry, and because everybody loves him and he can stay healthy now, it's comeback player of the year. Like, we don't need to give him more credit than Puka or JSN. He had, by the way, Brandon, he had first place votes over JSN and Puka Nacua. I just want to contextualize that so everyone understands why that's absolutely ridiculous. Great player. Like, he came back, but he's nowhere near what he used to be. And I think people forgot
appreciating that production with him having lost that step that Jesse noticed this offseason. That's all they're doing.
I think Jesse was right. I know people are going to say he wasn't, but he was not the same player. He was still really good. I
honestly don't even know how it's like debatable, because like you can look at volume stats and be like, well, yeah, but look at all the volume stats, but his yards per carry, his long like yard or carries over 20 yards, he had like 1 all season. And then his top mile per hour was the worst in his career by a wide margin. Like, it wasn't even close. 2 years ago, he hit like 22 miles per hour as his top speed. He didn't hit over like 17.3 miles per hour the whole season. Like, what are we even debating? It's
if we're doing the counting stats, Jesse, then why is Bijan Robinson not getting those votes? He had more total, like, it's a bunch of, I think it's a lot of favoritism. I think people love Christian McCaffrey. I think that's why he won comeback player of the year. Honestly, I think it should have been Trevor Lawrence. I mean, the dude was in the MVP conversation and never, ever, ever looked like he should have been the number 1 overall pick until this year, and came back from that shoulder that they basically were saying they should give up on him over in Jacksonville. I don't know. I know I sound like a hater with Christian McCaffrey, but if he was Christian McCaffrey of old, absolutely. I didn't see it. 3.9 yards per carry. I think it sets a weird precedent moving forward.
I think I was most shocked at the lack of votes Robert Saleh got for assistant coach of the year. That was kind of stunning to me. Barely got any at all. Misfit, want to thank the whiners and taxpayers of Santa Clara for letting us borrow your crib to take the Super Bowl in and to also clean up the mess we left in the locker room and field. Much appreciated. We got John May. The Super Bowl was week 18 all over again, but Myers didn't miss. And the game was over earlier as a result at 19-0. No need for Sam to take risks after the first quarter, and that seemed evident. We got Jay Melfair, NFC West. by far the best division, no question about it.
By a
Jay,
mile.
Jack Maloney, LFG, we're the champs. Also have a lot of respect for the way Jake and Jesse handled their playoff losses. Been a dream season.
Thank you, Jay.
And this roundtable is awesome. Jack, you are awesome.
Thank
you know
you,
who's
Jack.
really awesome, and I'm talking like insanely awesome, is our girl Megan, who just dropped out. This might be a channel record here, folks.
$300.
This
Let's go.
might be a channel
I didn't see that.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Crimson
Thank you,
Red
Megan.
on a
Thank you,
Super
Megan.
Bowl victory Monday. Megan saying my favorite phrases in the English language. We do not care, and we told you so. I guess my
We
favorite.
did not care.
You got the "we told you so," or is that?
I don't have that one.
All right, we'll
Not
get
yet.
that one
Brandon.
next time, Megan.
I know
I think
you,
our three favorite though is "we appreciate you," Megan.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you, Megan.
you got to
Appreciate
do
you so much.
a montage, Brandon. I'll send you my montage when the Rams won the Super Bowl. I just literally took every single, like, the talking heads, everybody saying, but I'm going to take Kyler Murray because Stafford's never won a playoff game. Oh, I went through it all. You should do it. It's a lot of fun.
Man.
If you
yeah.
if you get
That'd be a
time
lot
to
of
do it, it is a blast to watch how these people had no. I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't mean to take a shot at you, but like Stephen A was literally like, Matthew Stafford's never won a playoff game, so I'm going to take Kyler Murray, and then they obviously got crushed, and it's funny.
Matthew Stafford has never won.
It was literally every single time. It was like, I'm going to take Tom Brady because it's Tom Brady or Matthew Stafford. I'm going to take, you know what? I'm going to take Kyle Shanahan over Coach McYay. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to take Joe Burrow because I just think Joe Burrow is just cooler. Like, I'm like, oh God, you
That's
people.
fine.
So yeah, you should have fun with that because there are people that didn't think Seattle would make the playoffs, which that was ridiculous.
Peter,
Oh, yeah. I'll probably put something
underscore.
together on it. Thank you,
Go
Megan.
Hawks.
You're awesome.
Yeah, thanks again, Megan. Seriously, really
Thank you,
appreciate
Megan.
you. From Sevi Stadium to C5 Stadium. Time to finish our back-to-back quests. About to have 2 vacation homes in Cali rent-free.
Yeah.
Go Hawks. Speaking of rent-free, did you see that segment that I think it was Boomer Esiason did, talking about how Sam Darnold actually owes the state of California $71,000 to have played in that Super Bowl? Unbelievable. Cost him $71,000 out of pocket with the jock tax. I got a
The
feeling.
jock tax.
Yeah, Sam probably would have paid double that though for the result that he wound up getting in that game. But
Wait,
that's
what?
absolutely crazy.
I'm confused.
The jock
There's a
tax
jock
in
tax in
California.
California. So if these guys come in, they charge them like duty days, and it goes up against their check as a whole. So it's like he collectively had to pay out of pocket like $71,000, and because he back to California.
Who did?
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
I
Darnold?
hate taxes. I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah.
That's so fucking stupid.
They got this
Exactly.
specialized jock tax, Mike. It's literally called jock tax, and it's just for this for guys that come in so they can hit them for just a couple of days a year that they come in and play.
Crazy.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I wish I didn't know that.
California show, man.
John
That's
May.
definitely
No
California.
comment on California. No comment. But
Views
It's so
on
stupid.
Spoon quote. Pat's O-line tipping pitches.
Yeah, he was. They were setting wide on certain looks, and they caught it on tape. I can't help but think that's probably a Mike McDonald catch because that's just up his alleyway, and that's probably why he brought that blitz on the backside of it as he saw it. And he's like, all right, we're gonna blitz the shit out of this when we see this. So, I mean, that's what you get with Mike McDonald. You show tells, you show something on tape that he's gonna be able to catch, and he's studying that stuff. It's like give him 2 weeks to prepare. That's what makes him so hard. Is he's the kind of guy that there's some coaches like Coach Carroll, for instance, wouldn't have been a guy that would have been the impact of. What you were going to get is what you were going to get 1 week or 2 weeks out. Give a guy like McDonald 2 weeks, and it's just one layer after another that he's putting on top of it as far as his game plan goes, at least defensively speaking.
Guy spends 30 minutes a day with his kids for a reason, and it's to do stuff like that.
He's got
John
stuff
Naylor,
to do.
a.k.a. Jonah. Brando, an Iron Man with 17 hours straight podcast. Yeah, you've probably been going forever here, huh?
I did 17 last night.
You did 17 consecutive hours?
I did. Yeah.
I give you a lot of credit.
So
I've
what
done
time
a
did you finish
24-hour
up?
stream before. It's brutal.
How many views
Oh.
does that thing have, dude?
37 or something.
Oh, don't say
God,
it so
I feel like it
humbly.
should
Come
be
on,
way
take a
more.
bow. That's
37.
37.
37,000.
How long were you up,
Biatch.
Brandon?
I was up till probably about 5 or 6 in the morning, something like that. Or I can't remember. It's a little hazy right now, so
Dude,
it's hard to
I
say.
tuned
The
back in the
the tough
morning.
part is YouTube doesn't do the full like 17s. They cut you off at 12.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of
haven't-
fun. I was gonna just I was
joined it
just I
live
was
and-
savoring it, you know.
Dude, you
Huh?
looked like a zombie by the end. I was like, dude, I
Oh.
feel bad for this dude.
It was great, but it's like I was telling the people on there. It's like, you know, being with you guys and around you guys. I mean, Mike and I include you in this, but Jesse too, or even Z-Bot on this, where there are those folks and those fan bases that, you know, we've been there 4 times now in 20 years, and so it's easy to kind of get caught up in this, like, oh, we've been there a lot, blah blah blah. But it's like, I know the pain and heartache of those fans like yourselves that you know want this and have had to wait for this and have been given a brutal hand in this and things outside the control of the fan base itself and not about lack of support or lack of want. And so it does make me in those positions go, yeah, make sure you're really enjoying this and not just sort of like glossing over it, just kind of like willy-nilly, like, oh yeah, what's that, whatever. It's like, no, because there's a lot of folks out there that haven't gotten in this in a lifetime. So it's like, you know, I'm kind of always reminded by that, maybe even possibly just as doing this show and being around so many different content creators around beyond this, but it does stand out to me.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to go live for 17 hours after a Super Bowl victory. It must have been incredible. Cheeky.
It was amazing.
Came in a little late, but did anyone mention how Will Campbell was getting cooked all day? And congrats, Hawks. Certainly was mentioned, Cheeky. It wasn't just that game either. It was a really rough postseason for
arm length
Will
matters.
Campbell.
That's why he's got to go to guard. If you go into the draft and you look at guys that have less than 33-inch long arms, you get mad about it, but stop looking at guys with 32.5-inch arms. There's 2 guys starting the league with less than 33. You saw the reason last night, because those defenders are 34-inch long arms and then they got power. There's nothing those guys can do about it.
Yeah.
Peter saying, Mike, Cards, get it together. Get it together. Make the NFC West even better. We have Tricks Media dropping off a tangerine for the boys. Tricks is saying, beat the Lambs for the number 1 seed, beat Niners for the number 1 seed, dogged the Niners in the divisional, sent Rams home in the NFC Championship game, then won the Super Bowl in San Francisco with Brock Purdy's backup. LOL. Greatest Super Bowl win in NFC West history. We own it.
Let's go.
Not a bad run for the Hawks. Megan, so proud of my dear friend Michael Dixon. Knew him in Sydney. My new jersey will have his name and number on it. You got to love it. Right down to the punter.
He was money.
Mark Jackson, it was a boring Super Bowl. #Night Crew. Boring for everybody that was outside of the Washington area. Just my opinion. Nice hat, Jesse. Embracing the Seahawks colors. Well done, Jesse. Glad you're.
Check out his emoji, by the way, on that Z-Bot really quick.
What do we got?
Oh, that's awesome.
Sam Darnold
Sam
Ghostbuster.
Darnold.
Nice.
That's funny.
Well
Nice.
done. Just my opinion. Michael, man, I'm going to miss hanging out with y'all every Tuesday night. Well, you're not going to miss us at all, Michael, because we're going to be hanging out with you every Tuesday night for the foreseeable future. But we are also excited for next season as well. So we'll agree with you there. Where we will disagree with you is that you will not be missing us. You'll actually probably get sick of us because we'll be talking about God knows what throughout the duration of the offseason as we get ready for that 2026 season. More to come on that throughout the coming weeks here. But don't worry, we will be going nowhere. We'll be talking about that repeat out in SoFi, right, Brandon? Daniel.
That's right.
Respect to the Niners for having such a long Super Bowl. But to win a Super Bowl for the first year of our window in Levi Stadium, so sweet. Almost feel bad. So grateful. Wow. Showing a lot of humility is Daniel there. Cheeky. That's a good ending for the Seahawks. Walker MVP. Not a bad ending to the season, Brando. It's really not a bad ending. And shout out to Walker.
Comfortable Super Bowl win every time, man.
I was stunned to see, by the way. I was stunned to see it had been nearly 30 years since a running back had got one. But I think also first time in how long, Brandon, that a running back had more than 110 yards in a Super Bowl? That shocked me.
It's where this game's gone back to a little bit of old school football now, right? It's a little bit less of spread, a little bit more under center, a little bit more on the ball. That's the new modern NFL right now. May change in 5 years, but right now where we're at, this is what you need to be doing to win football games.
And the one thing I think Mike McDonald should get credit for in this game, it was taking the field goals early, by the way. Like we talked about this on the show before, like some of these teams, you just come around and taking the points here, and it wound up compounding. I mean, they stacked 5 together in a row, and the game was over. We have Megan back in yet again on fire on a Monday.
Go, Megan.
Let me know, Melbourne boys. Megan's in. Listen, Boys are in. I'm gonna talk to the powers that be. I know Jesse wants to go really bad. He might drive.
Jesse, it's a mere 72-hour flight.
Have you seen the tickets for that thing? Are like $26,000 or something. We're not going to Australia.
Wow.
I think we should go to Seattle.
Oh, that is happening. We have got to go to Seattle. Why don't we go raise the banner? Let me talk to the boys. Boys.
Week 1, Rams Seahawks. Week 1 in Seattle.
Yeah, let me talk.
No, that's what I was saying. It's probably going to be Rams 49ers in Australia week 1. I just don't get it. I don't understand why that couldn't have. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's just such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's just.
You know what they're going to do, Brandon? You already know what they're going to do. They're going to try and make this out for what it isn't. Seahawks, Patriots. Telling you that's what's going to be. And the Patriots are going to get swallowed up. And by the way, they're not good at the getting that first game because they put the Cowboys on just because they're like, oh, the Cowboys. No one cares.
No, I know. Yeah, they don't have
it's like read the room.
Right.
Like read the room. Seattle, Rams, Seattle, even San Francisco. I wouldn't have any issue if they went Seattle and San Francisco. Would not have any issue. But to go with Seattle in New England, which is what they're going to do, I already saw Teddy Bruschi's like, yeah, I'm picking Seattle and New England to play each other next year. I'm like, all right. Patriots aren't making the playoffs next year. You can quote me on that.
Brutal schedule. It's not easy.
You can quote me on it.
And AFC is going to be stronger. Yeah.
I think right now, I think Jacksonville is who I'm leaning towards to win the AFC. But I think the Bills are right there. I think the Ravens with Minter are interesting, and obviously the Texans. If they just listen to me and they trade for Dak Prescott,
in place. It's Jaguars and Bears. That's the logo. That's the Super
Bears
Bowl.
aren't making the playoffs.
Oh,
not according to the logo. I'll have to run it by Dan and see what he thinks. He's the creator of the conspiracy. Jay Malfair, it's just in. Keon White didn't take the bribes.
I don't know.
But he didn't take the bribes. He didn't take them. He didn't take them. Cheeky. Please, Seahawks fans, don't stick him with that cringe nickname, JSN. No. He is the Emerald City Route Artist. If you go over to his pro football page, it's on there now. It says Emerald City Route Artist. It's over. I mean,
his reaction.
He's also known as the Route Ninja, which is, and that's when you're a great player, you get multiple nicknames. And when the greater the player, the more the nicknames.
He was just like, it's a little long. It's a little long, but it's like. But what it was so funny about that is it did exactly what that guy intended it for it to do, but not the way I think he wanted it to go. Like he wanted the nickname to stick, but not because everybody was like, "What did he just say?" The NFL even tweeted it out. By the way, they flat out called him the Emerald City Route Artist.
So I gotta call out Pro Football Reference. I think they're great, but they have these nicknames, and I want you guys to look in your free time. Some of them are hilarious. Like no one has ever called Tom Brady the Pharaoh. Nobody has called him that. No one has called him that. I don't care for a second. So it means nothing that the Emerald City Route Artist is up there. Because if you look, I mean, like, no one had called Troy Polamalu the Tasmanian Devil until Gus Johnson said it in Madden. No one had called Paul Posluszny Pause until
they definitely did.
They did?
Well, I'm a Penn State fan, and Paz went to PSU before.
Oh, they did call that. Okay, well, no one called that.
Paz.
No one called Polamalu the Tasmanian Devil. But I can tell you, without a doubt, no one has ever called Tom Brady the Pharaoh.
I am now. He is going to be the Pharaoh from here on out. Feed me more. I'm glad the refs were staying out of the game. Yeah, I mean, that's usually what happens at this stage, unless you're the Bills taking on the Broncos. We have the Warhammer. Best run in Seattle sports history. That how about the over/under? We're late in the balance of that hold. That was a massive hold. I can't imagine how many people, by the way, had a couple of bucks on Walker anytime touchdown. A lot of money changed hands on that hold. Kenneth Walker's late touchdown there that wound up getting.
I hit on the MVP. I had him as the MVP on my picks.
Oh, nice. What'd you get him at?
I got 100. It was a little throwaway one. So
a little throwaway one.
Yeah, why not? Jared Brown stopping by to say hello. Appreciate you, Jared. Following up that super chat saying, our 2 Super Bowls were won in the nice sham games. Oh, the NFC Championship games is what I think he's probably saying.
Yeah, I agree. It was the Niners in 2013 were the second best team in the NFL that year. The true Super Bowl was the conference championship, and exactly the same this year with the Rams. It's just the way that it played out.
2 dominant victories and a loss to the Pharaoh is what we've seen in the last 3 times.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Rick, is Rick Woolen time in Seattle done?
Yeah, unfortunately, look, there's always a Super Bowl bump with the players that are free agents coming out of your team. Somebody else is going to look, oh, they're a Super Bowl champion, so they're worth a little bit extra more of this. And you saw with Woolen even in this game, he just has some checkout moments where you're just like, did you just decide not to play on this play? Did you just decide to just kind of turn the off button and just you're going through the motions? And there's too much of that on him with on tape. It was against the Rams last week. It's just you can't sometimes rely on him with that. And Seattle's got other places they can spend that money. He's probably gonna make like $15 million out there in free agency. So that's a little bit too rich for me.
Wu-Tang. Time for the notorious MAC to be talked about as one of the best coaches in the league. Vrabel is dope, but we kind of styled on them coaching wise. I think it was as much of a mismatch in almost every category in this game as you could find. And I think McDonald, no question. I don't think anybody would argue against this right now. He's revered as one of the best right now. I think right now you could make an argument. I heard somebody talk about this earlier. If you were to have a draft of coaches, you could argue the top 3 picks when you factor in age would all be within this division.
Yeah.
McVay, Shanahan, and McDonald. So it just goes to show you how unbelievable this division is right down to the coaching staff. We got Quinn will get it done. Wonderful season. Next year, gonna maybe be an even scarier gauntlet than this one, most likely. Probability that next year's NFC championship is all NFC West again.
Sheesh.
Why not? I mean, I think going into it, the Rams and the Seahawks betting favorites to win the Super Bowl right in front of my Buffalo Bills. So I think maybe the prophecy foretold, Brandon, we get it next year. And then maybe we get Rams.
They weren't wrong. They were just early.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. We got Perry. Hawk Blogger is our Lombardi, Jake. I can go park my truck in front of his house. We all know LW, or last week, what happened last time someone asked me to move.
That's Mark Sanchez's victim.
Oh, that's right.
I have no idea what that means.
Look, Cheeky. How do you feel about a possible Debo reunion, Jesse? You
Jesse loves it.
Earlier, you want to double down on that, or?
No, it sounds awful. Like like every offseason we do this where it's like we just fall in love with ex players, and it's like these are the same players that you guys trashed when they left, as if they never donned a 49er uniform, and then now you want them back and clamor for it. Last year it was DJ Jones. This year it's Debo. It's like every single offseason. There's just no reason. We didn't win a Super Bowl with him. He's not making them better at this stage of his career. Just let it go.
I love that Debo's coming back if that's the case.
I don't think he is.
Jake, what do you think over under 36 or 38 belt on Debo right now?
Oh,
gosh. I don't know, man. I don't want to.
He's not cracking 40 on that waist, is he?
damn.
I'm not making fun
He's
of
not
his
going
weight.
4 loops on the belt.
He's a professional athlete, but I just listen.
But
He's not in his prime.
I think he's doing the Jerry Seinfeld where he crosses off the number on the jeans and writes it in.
Oh my God.
Banker. Good game to the Hawks. Let the arms race begin. We have Joseph. Niners are a miserably gross franchise. High to the 4-year slump.
Dang.
Oh, damn. Tell us how you really feel, Joseph. We got Jay Malfair. A montage or a dance remix? I say why not both, Brando, if you want to hit us with both.
Yes. The answer is yes.
NFC Super Bowl rep will be coming from the West until 2030. Calling his shot.
Oh.
Danny
Let's
B.
go.
Of course, I don't mean to jump the gun and declare Spoon a Hall of Famer, but damn it, some guys you just watch play and they move different. Brandon, you alluded to it earlier. 3 years, 3 Pro Bowls, was phenomenal in the Super Bowl. So he's well on his way towards carving out what could be an unbelievable career here. Cheeky.
I see it too,
Brandon,
Danny.
are you going to vouch for Darnold next season? I think he showed out a bit.
What is I don't know if showdown means like good or bad in this context. Yes, I'll definitely be still in favor of what he's doing. And obviously he's proven me right this year. So he's made me look pretty damn smart by, having his back throughout this year. And I didn't see it blindly. I did it after I went back and watched the Viking tape. That's why I had this whole push so early on as I did, is that you could see that it was true in what he was doing. It's going to continue to be true in what he's going to do. And if you don't think that, year 2 of Sam with a, whole team that he just learned newly this year is not going to be improved with more chemistry with guys like JSN, you're kidding yourself. It's going to be even better next year. So I love where Sam's going.
Wu-Tang. P.S. Low-key, one of the best special teams crew ever. Well, it was a phenomenal performance in that Super Bowl. Unbelievable.
Dude, we had a touchdown in the end zone recovered. We had multiple fumbles we caused, block punt, 2 kick returns, 2 punt returns this year. Our Jason Myers almost set a record for most kicks. It's a legit argument. It's the best special team season in all-time NFL history. I know it's a homer thing to say, but could build quite a strong case.
Didn't Jason Myers set the record for most points in a playoff and then the Super Bowl kicking record for most field goals in a game?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. So, and then you have with Dixon, and even how you defended kicks and punts was elite. It was amazing.
Unreal. SoCal. Excited for AZ Sports Fan and the NH. Now Rams will learn and win it next year. They're the ones that took the Seattle with a bad secondary on. You got Jim Raw, or I'm Raw, excuse me. Sam Darnold, the Ghostbuster nickname, no doubt. That's starting to really get some steam here. But just my opinion, by the way, it already put it in his profile picture, so we're coming a long way. Mark Jackson to close us out. The NFC West is the best. Go Cards, Night Crew. Thanks, Mike. What a way to put a stamp on this Super Bowl victory Monday, where the victor comes within our very own NFC West. Once again, a gigantic congratulations to you, Brando, and all the 12s out there on the Seattle Seahawks being your 2025 World Champions. That's going to do it for us here on the NFC West Roundtable. Looking forward to seeing you next week. One more before we sign off. We got Lucky Luke. Jake, we all saw who the true MVP was last night, and it showed. It was Matt Stafford. No question about it.
No doubt.
Once again, hour 25 in the books as we head over to Jared Brown, who closes us off. Time forever, the real time forever, the real 14's jersey, Brando.
We'll be moving out. I'll be swapping out JSNs and move JDK off because nice. I know that does bother some. So we're getting that one this offseason for sure.
You got some merch to buy. I mean, you got some.
I do. I got a lot of coin to drop here.
No doubt.
It's good you guys are dropping donuts so I can afford it.
Ian Lund. Hawks at plus 246, apparently biggest point differential of any Super Bowl winner. Cards fans are repping today in the viewers. Why is Puka a troll suddenly?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't. I mean, he already said he was rooting for the Seahawks. I don't even know where the Steelers came from. I don't cover the Steelers. No idea why the Steelers are on my mind. But he was he talked about how he was rooting for the Seahawks for Cooper Kupp. So I don't know what the Darnold. I guess really one thing I could think of is, I mean, one, he was probably drunk since that video came out. Although 24-year-old being drunk and having like proper like chauffeur and him not drinking and driving is actually not an issue for me. Shocker. But I think he might have honestly been like laughing at a specific play. And how that comes off after the fact is a player sees that after the game is like, you're clowning my quarterback, not really worried about the timestamp. But I don't know. I mean, it's not like Sam Darnold threw an interception and he was like, oh, Sam Darnold, you know. I don't know. But I think it's kind of a nothing burger. I think he just needs to grow up. And I mean, Jared Verse kind of said that the whole defense apparently needs to grow up for the Rams in his interview. I don't know if you guys saw that. So, yeah.
Well, in the end, Sam Darnold got the last laugh. And the Seattle Seahawks are champs. And we appreciate you stopping in to recap Super Bowl 60, where the Seattle Seahawks get it done and put an exclamation point on an awesome 2025 season. That's going to do it. Hour and a half in the books here on the NFC West Roundtable. For Jesse, Jake, Mike, and Super Bowl champion Brando, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning in to the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, Fourth and Forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.